call it a switch. Because once you figure out how to access that switch, you look at things very differently, and that's changed thousands and thousands of lives. Well, in business, everyone listening to this knows that curveballs and change is absolutely, it's always going to happen. And I work very much with a formula in my life, and it's sort of in the base of my keynotes is that it's from Galway, that your performance is directly equal to your potential minus interference. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that before. And I spend a lot of time unpacking that interference, because until the more of that interference we can cut out of the equation, the much better that we will come closer to realizing our full potential, which obviously relates directly to our performance. So I spend a lot of time looking at that and unpacking that what are our interferences? And the thing that impacts interference, or the thing that is absolutely synonymous with interference, is the element of change. Any change, there's one constant in all our lives, and that is change. It is going to happen. It's going to happen over and over. And that element of change is the thing that's going to impact us most profoundly, and it impacts alignment. Alignment as a team, alignment to think. There's certain things that it's easy to realign with when we're really experienced, but the toughest part of the alignment is our mindset alignment. So now we all of a sudden in a new team, there's new organizational structures, there's new leadership in place. All these things disrupt us. And sometimes you don't even know they disrupt us, or you kind of go, oh, well, that's just a pain in the neck. But you realize you're in a team with highly skilled individuals who all got lots of experience and all very, very capable. But until you understand that mindset alignment and how you personally have been challenged by that change, and you manage to realign it, that level of interference, I can guarantee you, will be detracting from the performance. So it's a bit of a convoluted answer, which I explain much better in my keynotes. But yeah, so we unpack interference and we reduced. The secret to dealing with curveballs. Wow. I think that, this answer can go on forever, but I'm going to try and be concise. So I obviously have a look at my adventures that I've done around the world. So I started firstly just pushing my own boundaries, and eventually started pushing the boundaries of mankind and doing stuff that shouldn't really have been possible, but really understanding the mind and understanding what was needed and the conditioning that was needed to give myself the best chance. And one of those things that is most certainly needed is the ability to handle curveballs, because not once have I ever been on a swimming challenge somewhere in the world where there haven't been a number of curveballs thrown. And it's as obvious that that's going to happen as change in my world. And those curveballs could often be the life or death situation. So you have to try and predict them. So there isn't a golden secret that I can throw out there that everyone can go, oh, there it is, that's how we handle curveballs. But what I do throw out very, very clearly and advise is that you spend time thinking about those curveballs, and not just thinking about them, hopefully like sweep under the rug, maybe they won't happen to us. What if they do? Prepare for it if they do. Give some thought as to what you're going to do when they happen, not if they happen. Because preparation keeps you alive in my game. And part of that is just understanding curveballs. So we really go deeply into what we can expect, what could go wrong. And there are a million factors when you're swimming and that you can't control. It's weather, it's currents, it's things that look at you from underneath the water when you're out in the deep. Many things like that. Even things that you think are super friendly, and everyone loves swimming with a dolphin. But every now and again, a dolphin doesn't want you in its turf. And it can get quite scary for a swimmer when you're in there. Everyone on the boat is saying, oh, look, a dolphin's come to join him. But I can see as a swimmer that this dolphin's not happy with me there, and it's dive bombing me from bottom up. Now, that might sound like the most random curveball ever, but it is a curveball nonetheless. And how do you deal with that? Because if I even touch the boat alongside me, my whole challenge is absolutely null and void. I have to get out, because you don't get to any kind of assistance. So when we have curveballs in my game, they have to be dealt with swiftly, and you have to have a plan in place. So golden thread piece of advice: think them through, have a plan. there is so much that audience will take away from my public talks or from my sessions. And I've been doing this long enough to know that and say that. So I don't mean it arrogantly in any way, but I can promise you that I will deliver an amazing and unique perspective on your own mind, on how you perceive challenges, how you set goals, how you understand curveballs and how you deal with them. It's truly inspirational talk, so you will most certainly have that a bounce in the step. Um, it is a mindset talk mostly. So it's going to inspire you, but it's going to teach you about your own mind. And as you walk out, you'll start a journey to figure out how to access something that I tell you about in my keynote. I call it a switch. So once you figure out how to access that switch, you look at things very differently, and that's changed thousands and thousands of lives. It's also very entertaining. It's a fun keynote, but it's very serious, serious as in it delivers some real serious value. You know what? I have been blessed to be keynoting around the world now for just over 12 years. Literally from places like Pakistan, further in the Middle East, across Europe, a lot in the States, all over South Africa. And it's amazing for me to see that the core messaging that I deliver is absolutely universally absorbed and valuable. And I think that is a very, very important a point to make. Sometimes my jokes I need to amend wherever I am in the world a little bit. And I have to understand that Celsius and Fahrenheit and all the different scales. But what is very important that I hope everyone understands that although I'm an ultra extreme open water and ice swimming adventurer, and it's very unrelatable stuff, the messaging that you will take from is hugely relatable. That I promise you. It's not one of those wishy-washy where you're going to just clap at the end and go, well, that was nice, and I feel good about myself for 5 minutes, but I could never do that. You walk out going, wow, I can do better. And this is how I'm going to address that challenge. So it's very practical and real.